We're here with Bernard Brucha, who in 2002 founded MASHstudios, a multidisciplinary design firm in Los Angeles that works on workspace projects, retail stores, and residential spaces. Thanks for being here, Bernard.
Well, thanks for having me, Adrian.
So for those who aren't familiar with your firm, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay. We are a Los Angeles-based design firm. Uh, I guess when you're trying to define us, I think we're unique in the sense that we're still trying to design everything. Uh, we do, our focus is definitely on furniture, but we do quite a bit of interior spaces. Once in a while, we'll get to some more tabletop housewares, uh, dabbling in architecture from time to time. But what keeps us excited over here is the fact that, design is design. It's across the boards. We're able to kind of mix different, that was kind of the concept of MASH, is mixing different kind of design categories into one. And we use each of these disciplines to achieve projects together.
Yeah, that's what I liked reading about MASHstudios so much is I bet people really love to work there because you get to work on so many different aspects of one project.
I hope so. Uh, it's is difficult because every project really so different. It's rare that we're working on the same thing for more than a couple of weeks. And in that is kind of the exciting part. Things tend to be pretty fast-paced around here. We don't really, it's not like we're designing a museum and working on that for 10 years or something like that. Our projects tend to be pretty quick. Um, but like I said, I think that's the exciting part, and everybody seems to have a good time.
Yeah. And how many people work for MASHstudios?
We shrink and grow at any given time. Right now, there's about six of us here.
Mm.
Uh, but we do, like I said, we've got a few different things going. We've got standard products that we deal with. We have some, interior spaces we're working on. So everything's flowing. We also, the whole notion of MASH early on was this kind of real collaborative effort. So we do bring in a lot of outside talent from time to time, and so it really depends on what we're working on.
Cool. And how did you get into the design field? When did you know that you wanted to be a designer?
You know what? I don't know. That's kind of a tough one. I guess I do remember the question getting out of graduating high school and somebody saying, "All right, now what?" And I was lucky enough to have somebody in my family, my sister, who was in the design field, and said, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I guess I explained what my perfect job was, and she said, "Oh, you want to be an industrial designer." So I guess that's where that started.
Cool. And is there anything that's really exciting you in the design world right now? Any designers or projects that you've seen recently that have really kind of blown your mind?
You know what? It's impossible for me to say that there's one. There really is so many. I don't like to say, hey, there's one guy's work that I'm into right now. Uh, Tell you the truth, what really excites me lately is looking at some of the kind of the internet's really allowed younger designers to show off their wares in a way that 10 years ago you really weren't able to do. Um, 10 years ago you had to really rely on books and in magazines to find out who was doing what. Whereas now there's all these great blog sites that are picking up great young talent, uh, and they're the ones that inspire me. I guess they're the ones that keep me from kind of becoming one of these old designers that are just doing the same thing day over day. So,
Yeah.
short answer, I don't want to say that there's such a multitude.
Well, we consider MASHstudios to be a very successful design firm. What steps did you take to get it there?
Um, you want to hear it out? A lot of hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
uh, I guess it was funny. We were kind of yeah, I after school I moved to New York, and that's kind of where I cut my teeth. That was kind of my training proving grounds. Again, putting in a lot of hard hours and whatnot. But I guess now what we're trying to edge up to is using all our experiences in the past of kind of accumulating this knowledge and now applying it to kind of bigger, more important work. So I think we really started one of the first type of or this standard product we had in the beginning was the launch of this LAX series, and that really started probably about 8 years ago with building one piece that hung on my wall the wall of a friend for 2 years before a company was sort of founded around that. So, but on top of that, the custom work, I guess, and that's always going to be its own thing.
I want to ask you about what your favorite project's been to work on, but I feel like it might be a similar answer to not being able to pick maybe what's exciting
Yeah.
out there. It's hard to choose, huh?
Well, again, we've done a pretty broad range of work. I think some of the if you want to ask retail, I mean, we really did have a great client in Kid Robot, doing those stores. That was a lot of fun because they are who they are, and we're really embracing design. So that was a fun project there. Is in terms of furniture, we've got a couple lines of our own that are certainly, I consider those our babies over here. We put a lot of attention into every piece that goes out, and really that's our calling card. Anytime there's a piece that goes out and it's got the MASHstudios stamp on it, that means we really did. It's important to me that it goes out representing our company. And to be honest with you, there is a project that is coming out in probably going to be shown at ICFF.
Yeah, please tell us about it.
In May. That is going to kind of be a pretty big deal for us. We're super excited about it over here. We've all been working hard on the design, and I'm pretty excited about that one. So right now in the studio, that's the baby.
Can you give us any hints as to what it's going to be, or?
I guess it's going to be a little bit. If you've seen the LAX series, it certainly it's got a couple of hints in there just in terms of some of the materials we like to work with here. But we are embracing some new processes as well as some different materials. And in designing furniture systems, we're always listening to what people say and what people want. And one of the requests is that, hey, we're looking for some cool storage that may be a little bit modular or something like that. So that may play a little bit of a role in the design. So
okay,
look out for that one.
Okay, last question. If you weren't a designer, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, that's funny. I've been asked that before. I'm a big outdoor enthusiast, big nature enthusiast. I'd like to think I'd be doing something like that. So how that really ties into design, I don't know. But in my life, it's a big influence.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Bernard.
Thank you.
For more information about Bernard and MASHstudios, you can visit MASHstudios.com. You've been listening to a Two Modern Designer interview. For more fun podcasts, inspiring design posts, and design advice, check out the blog at twomodern.com.